What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. Always, I'm Nathan Holloway, and with me, Church.
What's up?
We're going to start in the NFL. We're going to get to some rule changes here in a second. We're going to start off. The Steelers signed Cordero Patterson. That could come into play with the new kickoff change, since Cordero Patterson is probably the best kick returner in the league. The Rams signed Tre'Davious White. Aaron Donald announced his retirement. Congrats to a great career, I guess. He's one of the best defensive players ever. So, rule changes. This week was the coaches' bull crap down wherever. Nobody really cares. Some of the rule changes that they did, the trade deadline got moved back to after week 9. So they moved it back a week. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Nothing ever happens at the NFL trade deadline. They banned the hip drop tackle, which a lot of people are not happy with. I'm one of them. Yeah, it saves injuries, but before long, it's going to be flag football. The new kickoff rule was adopted from the XFL, when the XFL was actually a thing. Also, if you're an XFL fan, the UFL starts this weekend, but really, who the hell cares? So the new kickoff rule, I'm going to try and explain it, even though I don't even understand it. So I guarantee you will not understand it any more than what I do after I explain it to you. So basically, this is worthless, but you're going to listen to it anyway. The kicks will begin from the 35-yard line. 10 kick coverage players will line up at the opposing 40. At least 9 blockers will line up in the setup zone between the 30 and the 35-yard line for the return team. Only the kicker and the possible 2 returners will be allowed to move before the ball hits the ground or is touched by a returner inside the 20-yard line. A touchback will now start at the 30 instead of the 25. If the ball hits before the end zone and ends up in the end zone, the ball will start at the 20. Any kick received in the field of play must be returned. That was changed from last year whenever they did the stupid college thing where you could take a knee and it would just be a touchback. If a kick goes out of bounds before the end zone or does not reach the landing zone, which I believe is at the 30-yard line, which if a kick doesn't reach the 30-yard line, there's a problem and that kicker should not be a kicker. The ball will start at the opponent's, at their own 40-yard line, so just like it was if it was a free kick out. So, do you understand it?
It's a lot of confusing numbers.
Yeah. The graphic that ESPN put up made it a little bit easier. You know when we'll finally understand this? Week 1.
Yeah.
Because then you have the preseason. They'll already have it. I don't think it's going to change much. And the ability to get an onside kick now is impossible. Because you now have to alert the other team that you're doing an onside kick.
This is stupid.
So it was already impossible with the other rule changes that players couldn't move before the kicker kicked the ball. Now it's impossible. They need to change the rule for onside kicks to make it where it's not a kick. On to the association. The Celtics clinched the East with a Bucks loss to the Lakers last night. Of course, the Celtics could have clinched on Monday, but they blew a 30-point lead to the Hawks. The Nuggets have won 4 straight, and 9 of their last 10. They lead the Thunder by a half game in the West. The Rockets have won 9 straight and sit 1 game back of the Warriors for 10th place. And Domantas Sabonis broke the record. He did have 55 straight. He now has 56 straight double-doubles. Why Sabonis is not being talked about in the MVP race, I don't know, because he could win it. It's a shame that he was not a all-star. He's one of the best players in the league. So we will dive into the NBA in a few weeks because each team has about 10 to 12 games left. The East is basically wrapped up. The West is not. On to baseball, Jordan Montgomery signed a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks. Did you like that move?
Yeah, makes them better. They have a great rotation already.
Bad thing is Eduardo Rodriguez is hurt.
Yeah.
Already. The Dodgers signed Will Smith to a 10-year, $140 million extension. So they just continue to spend money. The Rockies signed Ezekiel Tovar to a 7-year, $63.5 million extension. I'm sure you're happy about that. Dylan Carlson got injured, so we're going to go into prospects now. Victor Scott will be the starting center fielder for the Cardinals. Of course, Jackson Holliday got sent down. He will not start the season on the opening day roster. Neither will Paul Skeens, James Wood, Dylan Cruz. Guys that will are Wyatt Langford, who everybody knew was going to with how he's played. Colt Keith is expected to be on the Tigers roster. I'm missing a guy.
Chourio.
Yeah, Jackson Chourio will be with the Brewers. We knew that was going to happen. The Brewers can't get any worse. That's about it.
Some small guys, but the big names, that's it.
So, opening day is tomorrow. Game started at 12:10 Central Time, since we're in Central Time. The Mets game has already been postponed. So if you want to go to the Mets home opener, it'll have to be on Friday.
What do you postpone?
Rain. Apparently it's supposed to rain all day. Some big news around MLB. The Dodgers fired Shohei's interpreter. I'm going to botch his name, but really I don't care. Ippei Mizuhara, after he allegedly stole money from Shohei for gambling debts. Remember that I said allegedly. I do not want sued because of this. Allegedly. The MLB is investigating, and so is, I believe, the Los Angeles police.
I know the iOS and FBI's in it too.
Because Shohei did come out and did a press conference himself, and through his new interpreter said that he did not bet on games. But I mean, would he tell you anyway?
No.
Well, we just expect if he was betting on games, he's going to come out. Yeah, I bet all this money on games. The sportsbook person that Mizuhara apparently went through is also being investigated for illegal gambling. So
It is illegal in California. It's just not a good situation right now.
no, it's not good for Shohei at all. But the MLB won't do anything about it, even if Shohei ends up
Being found guilty.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to ban him like they did Pete Rose. Pete Rose has already said something about it.
Yeah.
Did you see his message while he was sitting in a casino?
That's Pete for you.
We're going to move on to college basketball. I know you're ready for the MLB season.
Oh, yeah. I might not walk tomorrow, so if I don't, it's going to be baseball all day.
Congrats on getting an opening series sweep, because you're going to sweep us. You know the cheapest ticket for the Reds Nationals game is like $163.
Really?
Something like that.
It's pretty cheap.
The cheapest ticket, the Dodgers are not the most expensive. They are under $100 for the cheapest ticket you can get. The cheapest ticket is actually the Pirates and Marlins, which is like $13.
Really? It's not a good game, though.
Yeah. Hey, you go see Jesus Lizard, though. We're going to move on to college basketball. So, we're down to the Sweet 16. The Sweet 16, we're going to give our new and updated predictions, although your Final Four's still in it, right? Who'd you have in your Final Four? I know my Final Four is not right because I had UConn, UNC, Wisconsin, which we decided to lose in the first round because Wisconsin sucks.
I got that right, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
No. Wait. I have UConn and Baylor. So
Yeah,
Baylor's
Baylor
out.
lost.
But I have Marquette and Tennessee still.
Okay. I had...
My final's still good, though. UConn.
My final is not good. I believe... Who did I have in the bottom? I think I have... Oh, I had Creighton. So, new and updated Sweet 16. Of course, the biggest upsets in the first round. We're going to go through this first. The biggest upsets in the first round. Texas A&M upset Nebraska. James Madison upset Wisconsin before getting absolutely obliterated by Duke.
Yeah.
NC State upset Texas Tech. They are in the Sweet 16 after beating Oakland, who upset Kentucky. And can we talk about Kentucky for a second? John Calipari. They can't get rid of him because they signed him to a lifetime contract. He said he's going to come back. He's not a good coach. They have one win since 2020 in the tournament.
And they're one of the best teams every year in the regular season.
It can't continue to happen. They just can't. Colorado upset Florida. Purdue did not get upset. I was very disappointed. I was good. Yeah. Gonzaga did not get upset by McNeese. McNeese sucks. I've learned that. Oregon upset South Carolina. Moving to the other side, not really any big. I mean, Northwestern upset Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, I mean, you should have probably expected them to get upset. Yale upset Auburn. Auburn blew the game. Duquesne upset BYU. And Grand Canyon upset St. Mary's. That was the biggest on that side. It's very disappointing that St. Mary's didn't go over. Grand Canyon looked very good.
Yeah.
Until they kind of blew it in the end against Alabama. So, Sweet 16, we're going to give our updated predictions.
I'm going to go off my thing if it's still right.
Okay. So, who do you have making the Elite Eight in the Eastern region? UConn versus San Diego State.
I have UConn. I had UConn with no thing, so I got to stay with UConn.
I'm going to also... UConn's making it out of this region. I have UConn versus Illinois. I think Illinois beats Iowa State. It's going to be a very good game. By the way, this is only the fifth time in NCAA tournament history that every 1 and 2 seed has made it to the Sweet 16, which is very weird with how
many upsets there's been. There's always been at least one number 1 seed upset every year.
Yeah. So I'm also going to... UConn's going to be in the Final Four. They're going to be in they're not going to be in the championship game. I still got to stick with UNC. Although my best bracket right now that I have on ESPN, I have UConn winning. In the West region, who do you have making it between UNC and Alabama, and then Clemson and Arizona?
I had UNC going into the Elite Eight, and then it's Clemson and Arizona. Yeah, I got that one wrong. I said Baylor was going to the Final Four. But I'm gonna go with.
It's okay. It's okay. I picked New Mexico State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arizona.
I'm gonna go with Clemson and UNC. Clemson's been playing great. Clemson's not playing like a 6 seed, but I still have UNC not only making it to the Final Four, I want UNC making it to the championship, beating UConn. Clearly, you have UConn.
I mean, UConn win the whole thing.
Yeah, so you have UConn coming out of the left side. So the right side, Houston and Duke. Of course, I got to change this because I had Wisconsin. I'm going to go with Duke. I've not seen really anything from Houston. Houston should have lost to Texas A&M in overtime.
Great game.
It was a great game. Duke has been playing very well. Very, very well. And then the other is NC State and Marquette. I'm sticking with NC State. I said NC State was going to be the surprise of the tournament. Marquette has not showed me anything. They really haven't. NC State. I don't think Marquette's going to be able to defend the big man. Still don't know what his name is.
Yeah. Well, this one's pretty much intact still, besides Kentucky. I had Kentucky going to the Sweet 16. But I had Duke beating Houston, so I want to stick with Duke beating Houston. And it didn't really matter about Kentucky or NC State because I had Marquette winning out of that anyways. And I have Marquette going to the Final Four.
I'm going to stick with Duke. I'm going with Duke in the Final Four. I can't stand Duke, but
they look good.
I'm not going with Marquette. Marquette's a rival, Wisconsin. They're both in Wisconsin. Screw Marquette. Although they can actually win a tournament game. In the Midwest region, we have Purdue versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga's looked really good. And Creighton versus Tennessee.
I got that top one completely wrong. I had TCU and Kansas.
It's okay. I had McNeese making it to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And we saw how that turned out by getting blown out by damn near 40 in the first round.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gonzaga against Purdue. And then I have Tennessee going all the way to the Final Four, so I'm going to stick with Tennessee staying there.
I have Gonzaga beating Purdue, and I have Creighton beating Tennessee. I then have Creighton making the Final Four. So my championship is UNC, and I'm going to go with Creighton because I don't want UNC versus Duke, and I think Creighton is, although they didn't show it a lot in that last game against Oregon.
They're still a good team.
They are a very good team. They can shoot the three. They have great big men. They could honestly win the whole thing, but I'm going with UNC, still winning it because that's who I picked before. Now, my second pick would be Creighton.
Yeah,
I believe if there's anybody on the right side of the bracket that can give UConn problems, if UConn continues to just dominate, it is Creighton. Who do you have in the finals? Your finals are still intact.
I got UConn and Marquette. Pretty much my Elite Eight. Pretty much my Elite Eight is almost all intact. But the people that's in it still.
Yeah, good for you. I did not have that.
But yeah, I have UConn and Marquette, and UConn wins the whole thing again.
Overall, it's been a great March Madness so far. A lot of I will say the round of 32 was kind of upsetting. There were close games, and then there were absolute blowouts. Yeah. So hopefully we continue to see close games.
Didn't you win like 106 to like 60 something?
Yeah, that was Purdue.
Yeah.
They demolished Utah State.
You mean Grambling? No. Yeah,
it was Utah State in the second round.
They also destroyed Grambling too.
Yeah. They'll find a way to choke. This is the first time in Zach Edey's career he's been past the second round.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to think about. So we're going to move on to other sports. Peter Malnati won the Valspar Championship. The Houston Open is this weekend. Of course, we're in the Texas round of golf right now. You have the Valspar, then you have the Houston Open, then you have the Valero Texas Open next week, and then after that, you know what it is?
TPC Sawgrass.
The Masters. We were in TPC Sawgrass last week, or 2 weeks ago. William Byron won at Circuit of the Americas in a very boring race.
It always is.
Yeah, it is. I was really hoping Christopher Bell would get up there and challenge.
He just took out everybody.
Yeah, he did. I thought Kyle Busch was going to come up and punch him.
Did you see how scary he looked?
Dude, he was. There were people in the comments that were like, "Yeah, he's just unfazed."
No, that dude had the look of, "Oh, I'm going to shit my pants."
Yeah.
He was like this with Kyle. And then he took the other Kyle. He had something against Kyle's. He took Lawson and Bush out. He had something against Kyle's.
Of course, Richmond is this weekend. So, who wins?
Kyle Busch, he gets revenge.
I'm gonna go with Denny Hamlin. He seems to dominate at Richmond. I believe it's his home track.
He dominates everywhere. He just can't win a championship.
Alex Palou on the $1 Million Challenge. IndyCar is off. Get this, until April 21st.
I wish I had raced in the car. Jesus Christ.
Carl-
Work 1 week, get 4 weeks off.
After that, it ramps up.
Okay.
Carlos Sainz won the Australian Grand Prix after Max Verstappen had to retire his car on lap 3. Finally, it was actually a really good race.
Yeah.
I hate that it ended under caution. I don't know how they didn't red flag it with George Russell in the
flip
middle of the
upside
track
down. Yeah, that would be scary, man.
in a blind corner.
Yeah.
I
Did you
think-
hear his radio?
Yeah.
He was like, "Get me out, bed."
I don't get why you just don't red flag it.
And then
Either way, Carlos Sainz is gonna win. Either way,
he had what, like a 4-second lead or something
Yes.
like that.
so it doesn't even.
He pretty much dominated that race.
F1 is off this weekend. They will be back next week. That's all I have. We're going to keep it short. If you paid attention to the women's bracket, there's been some very good games. Every 1 and 2 seed is still in. The Sweet 16 for the men's side starts Thursday. So tomorrow, the day you're going to be listening to this. And the Sweet 16 for the women's side starts on Friday. Tomorrow is a very big day of sports with March Madness, Sweet 16. Baseball's back.
Well, that's all it's going to be on in this house, baseball. So
I'm going to be watching March Madness. So, actually, I'm going to be doing homework. So, yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy baseball, because baseball is finally back.
I will.
Thank you guys for listening. You have anything else?
It's baseball season, baby.
It's not like I didn't just say that. That's all I have. Thank you guys for listening. Come back here next week. Peace.